Hello guys, welcome to the Android classroom. So as you all know, in the previous lecture we have learned how to register a user using Firebase in Flutter. So today we are going to learn how we can log in a user. So let's get started. So first what we are going to do is, in our auth.dart page, we are going to cut over this register widget where it is sign up widget. Here it is. Let me just copy this first. I will copy it and replace it with our this login widget, and I will change its name to login widget. Okay, the second thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna copy this register method and paste it here below, and we'll name it login. Okay, now in our login widget, let me just change some text fields, like from signing up to signing in, and from sign in to sign up to sign in. Okay, now let's get back to our scope model class, and here also I'm going to just copy this register user method. Actually guys, these all are the same thing which I've already explained in the previous lecture, so I'm not going to rewrite the code or explain it again. So I'm just going to copy and paste it, and we'll replace its name to register user to login user, from register user to login user. Now we need to change something in this login user. To register the user, we are calling a method of the auth page called create user with email and password. Now to log in the user, we are going to call a method of this auth class called sign in with email and password, and this method requires two parameters. First is email and the second is password, which we are already passing in our method. Okay, now we are all done to log in our user, but I'm gonna make some another changes in our code, like to indicate our app that something is happening in the app. We were using this as loader. So instead of using this loader, I'm going to create another loader for our another indicator for our login, and its name will be login in progress, and this getter will be login in progress, and it's going to return this login progress. Now in our login method, instead of changing this login is loading, I will change it to login in progress. Why I'm doing this, I will explain you in a minute. It's going to be a, let me just copy it and paste and replace it with every time we are using is loading in our login user method. Okay, so now our codes are all set to be used. Now let's get back to our login widget. And this widget, instead of checking this is loading, we'll check login in progress. So we have used this login in progress to separate both the indicators of our sign up widget and of our login widget. So whenever this login in progress is true, only the login widget, only this login button will disappear and a indicator will be shown. So that's the reason I have separated both the indicators of login register. Okay, the next thing we need to change is in this login widget, whenever a user clicks on the sign in button, instead of calling this register method, we'll call login method. And inside this login method, instead of calling this model.register user, we'll call model.login user, which we have just created here in our scope model class. Just save it. Okay, now our login will perfectly run, but we wouldn't be indicated, or there won't be any pop-up to show this user login is successful. Only pop-up will be only shown when there isn't some error. So we need to show the user that your email password was all correct and you are logged in. So how we can do it? We can show a dialog box to a user whenever he logs in successfully. So instead of just copy pasting this dialog box, what I'm going to do is I will copy this dialog. I will just cut this dialog, and I will create another method here called custom dialog, and this will require a string title and a string message, and here I will paste this dialog box, and in the title I'm going to just display the title from the parameters, and the description what I'm going to do is I'm going to show this message. Okay, now let's call this dialog everywhere. Custom dialog, title will be sign in failed, and the message will be message as it was before. And whenever user login successfully, we'll show a dialog box. Custom dialog, title will be sign in successful, and message will be welcome to the classroom. Let's just copy this and paste it on our register also. Non-register also will paste this dialog box. Means we'll call the dialog box whenever registered successfully, and instead of sign in we'll show sign up successful, welcome to your classroom. And in this also, in the error block, whenever there's some error in sign up, you won't write this dialog box. Let's just delete this dialog box and instead of just show this custom dialog which we have just created. So it will make our code look much simpler. Sign up failed, and the message will be response message, whatever the error is causing. Okay guys, so by these changes our code will perfectly run, log in our user. Now there's one UI change which I need to do, and honestly our app looks much tidy because of it, and that is we haven't given any margin to a container. So we'll just give up some margin to a container by calling margin aginsex.all, and let's just not just give all, let's just give symmetric, horizontal. Okay guys, so let's just run the codes. Actually I've already run them on my emulator, so let me just show you. As you can see, the UI is looking much pretty now by giving some margins. Now let me just write the email address, email.com, and password 23456. Sign in. As you can see, we got the message sign successfully, welcome to the Android classroom. And if I write password wrong, let's see what it gives us. Sign in failed, the password is invalid, or user does not have a password. So as you can see, the login is perfectly working. So guys, as you know, I haven't written much code in this video because most of the codes I've already explained in my previous lectures, like how to create a login widget or how to create user with Firebase, and how to show dialog box. These all were already explained in the previous lectures, so I haven't explained them in this lecture. But if you have any doubt, then please let me know in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching the Android Classroom. Bye.